Hello and welcome to the October Hardin County Chamber of Commerce virtual luncheon. My name is Philip Tabb. I'm with Hodges Auction and Gold Star Realty, and I'm also the chairman of the board for the Hardin County Chamber of Commerce. I hope everyone's taking advantage of this wonderful fall weather. We've got a great program in store for you today, so stay tuned.
Thank you, Philip. Again, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us for our October membership meeting. I hope you are safe, well, and enjoying a delicious lunch from one of our many wonderful chamber member eateries. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to join us virtually, and I guarantee you we have a great program in store. I'd like to begin by thanking our primary sponsor, West Banco. We appreciate their support, and you'll be hearing from them later in the program. Please make sure to like, comment, or share on this feed in order to be eligible for their door prize. We also have lots of chamber updates, announcements, and information to share with you. And that will occur later on in the program, so please stick around. But we want to jump into our very special program right now. We're excited and honored to have with us Ashley Watts, the President and CEO of the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce. Ashley Watts was named the President and CEO for the Kentucky Chamber, the state's largest business association, in November 2019. Ashley joined the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce in November of 2012, and during her tenure as Senior Vice President of Public Affairs, she led the efforts in passing significant pieces of legislation, such as felony expungement in 2016, right-to-work legislation in 2017, workers' compensation reform in 2018, and reinstating arbitration agreements in 2019. As part of the Chamber's leadership team, the Kentucky Chamber was named National State Chamber of the Year in 2017. Prior to joining the Chamber, she worked at the Kentucky Bar Association and the Legislative Research Commission. Ashley graduated from Campbellsville University with a bachelor's degree in political science and history in 2004 and holds a master's degree in public policy and administration from the University of Louisville. Ashley is a 2016 graduate of Leadership Kentucky, and she currently serves on the boards for Campbellsville University, Prevent Child Abuse Kentucky, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and the American Chamber of Commerce Executives, ACCE, where she was also named a 40 under 40 in 2020. Ashley also serves on the Kerner Commission, Agri-Tech Council, and the Commonwealth Education Continuum, appointed by Governor Andy Beshear. She currently resides in Frankfort with her husband Ryan and two children, Emma and Carter. We appreciate Ashley taking the time to address us and give us an update on all that's happening in the state. Without further ado, here's Hardin County native Ashley Watts.
Hello to all of my friends in Hardin County and the Hardin County Chamber. Thank you so much, Margie, and everyone for having me today. As much as I wish I was in my hometown visiting with you all in person, because of COVID, obviously, we wanted to keep everyone safe, and so we're going to do this virtually. I think I did this virtually last year, and so fingers crossed for 2022 that I can come and visit in person and visit with all of you all in Hardin County. I do want to say a special thanks to my dear friend Marilyn Ford with West Banco for presenting this program today and for being the sponsor. Hopefully we can all get together again soon, but thank you guys for tuning in virtually. I am filming this on the Wednesday after the Tuesday of the big Ford announcement. So you guys may not be watching this until a little later, but I do want to say congratulations and how proud I am to be a native Hardin Countyan right now. The announcement of Ford is a really big deal, obviously, here in Kentucky. It is the largest economic development announcement we have ever had. And so you all know what kind of impact it's going to have, not only to Hardin County and Glendale and E-Town, but really the region as itself and all the surrounding counties that are going to provide really good, high quality, good paying jobs and really jobs of the future. So I know I'm excited here in Frankfort, and especially as the head of the chamber, that we see investments like this. And you all, I know in Hardin County, are thrilled, and you should be very proud that you have a site now that really has been shown on the national stage. So this kind of leads right into what I wanted to talk about today. So it's a great kind of segue. I wanted to talk about Kentucky being ready to compete on this national stage for business. And you all may know, you may have filled it out last year. I hope you did. But there has been a recent census. And from this census, we gained a lot of information. And as now, fingers crossed, we're on the other side of the pandemic, it really is time for Kentucky to be able to compete. We want to compete for more good paying companies like Ford, like our Toyota plant, like UPS, to come to Kentucky to make Kentucky and continue to make Kentucky a great place to work and live. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of the census data today and the population growth, why that's important, why some states are growing and why some are not. And then lastly, what we can do to continue to build on, the success we've already had and continue to attract companies like Ford to invest in Kentucky. So I am going to go through a couple slides today that hopefully will come through on your screen. And really, I want to start off by talking about population growth. And this population growth that our census showed, the census works every 10 years, and it showed that Kentucky did grow. Kentucky's population did grow, but it grew only 3.8%, which is really less than what we would like. And we see states like Texas and North Carolina and Tennessee growing at a much faster rate. You guys are just about an hour and a half or so, I guess, from the Tennessee border. And Tennessee grew 8.9% compared to our 3.8%. Even Virginia, kind of our neighbor over to the east, grew 7.9%. North Carolina, which is just a quick drive from Kentucky, grew 9.5%. And then states like Texas grew 15.9%. So you can see that some of these states had really large population growths, and that with that comes, attracting talent, attracting businesses, quality of life issues. And we're going to talk a little bit about why some of these states grew and why some of them did not. We did have kind of slow population growth here in Kentucky with 3.8%. West Virginia, over to our east, they actually lost population 3.2%. Ohio only grew 2.3%. Indiana, 4.7%. And Illinois did actually drop 0.1%. So around our surrounding states, we're kind of average. But we know we can do better, and there really is a path forward that we can all learn from. So why do some states and regions grow while others do not? One is job availability and the quality of those jobs. Another is taxes. We hear a lot about tax reform, and we always say the one thing that everyone in Frankfurt, or actually even in DC, can agree on is that we all need tax reform. But everyone has a different version of what that means. And Elizabethtown being, an hour or so from both borders of Indiana and Tennessee, you guys do obviously compete with those businesses on the other side of the river in Indiana and down in Tennessee. And you can see that those states do have more friendly tax codes for businesses and individuals, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Another reason why states and regions grow is educational attainment. We want a highly educated and skilled workforce, and when businesses look at where to locate, they really do look at the educational attainment of the population. We also look at affordability. Is it affordable to live in your state? And that's one thing Kentucky really has going for us, is that we do have a low cost of living. We have a low cost of our energy. And so that's one of the things that really makes us able to compete for those companies like Ford. And then lastly, we're going to talk a little bit about health, mortality, and birth rates. That does mean, why some states grow and some do not, is that, we do look at the health and wellness of the population within those states. So why does population growth matter? It matters because it attracts business and expansion. It's workforce availability of how many people do we have available to fill these jobs. And this is obviously a topic of hot discussion with the Ford announcement yesterday, saying that there's going to be 5,000 full-time jobs around the year 2025. Where are those workers going to come from? It also makes a big difference with our state and local tax base. Is the tax structure in a state friendly to business? Do they want to locate in that state? Is it going to be beneficial to them? And then lastly, it's an indicator of quality of life, prosperity, attractiveness. Tennessee has a lot of great things going for them. I always use them as an example because they're so close and they've really been able to boom their economy lately. And not only do they have a good tax structure, they have good education, they have universities, they have a healthcare sector that is flourishing right now. It's also, if you guys have been to Nashville, which I'm sure you have, a really cool place to be. When I was growing up in Elizabethtown, we would go and visit Nashville, and you would go to Opryland and the Opryland Hotel, and that was about it. Now, if you go to Nashville, downtown particularly, any night of the week, it is just booming. And so that really does lead to talent attraction. And when you are kind of a younger professional, where do you want to live? And so that's something we're going to talk about as well. Really, it all kind of starts with taxes. We want to look at tax reform here in Kentucky. We have made strides in recent years, but we still do have quite a ways to go to be truly competitive with those states surrounding us and those states that we compete with for business, states like North Carolina, Texas, and Tennessee. You can see on this chart right here, it basically shows from a nonpartisan group called the Tax Foundation how competitive our tax code is. How likely is it that a business would want to come to Kentucky based on our taxes? And we have made strides. We are number 19 now. And so we have moved up several numbers over the past couple of years. But when you look at Tennessee, North Carolina, Texas, and others, Florida, they do have more competitive tax codes that really do lead to businesses and people wanting to come there. Another chart I always like to show, and we hear about this all the time here in Kentucky because of Tennessee being directly our neighbor to the south, is individual taxes. Right now here in Kentucky, we have a 5% individual income tax. That was lowered from a couple years ago from 6% to 5%. So we have made strides. However, if you look at Tennessee, they don't have an income tax. And so we hear a lot of stories, especially down on the border at Fort Campbell or Bowling Green, of people maybe working in Kentucky, but living in Tennessee because they don't have that income tax. And when businesses are looking to locate in a new state, this is really something they look at, especially if it's going to be C-suite type of jobs where maybe a headquarters is going to come to that state. You can see that Texas as well does not have an income tax. And so when you look at headquarters being located, like Oracle was just recently located in Tennessee, a lot of what they look at is those individual income taxes. And from a chamber's perspective, we really want to make sure that we're going to be as attractive and business friendly as possible and get those taxes down and be able to compete. And that's something we're going to work on in the future. I do want to talk about workforce. And so as president of the chamber, we talk to businesses every single day. And overwhelmingly, the top concern right now for every employer in Kentucky, it's not just retail and restaurant, it's healthcare, it's education, it's manufacturing. The top concern of businesses is workforce and our workforce participation. And this week, the Chamber is releasing a workforce report called The Workforce Crisis, 20 Years in the Making, where we really highlight the problems that Kentucky has with workforce participation, which means the number of people who are between ages 18 to 65, able-bodied, that could be participating in the workforce, but are not. This chart right here shows our workforce participation over the last 20 years, which is why we call it 20 years in the making. And you could see back in January of 2000, our workforce participation rate was almost 64% of that adult population that could be working. Over the past 20 years, you can see that it's taken a really sharp dive and that we are now just above 56% of able-bodied people that could be working that are working. And if you break this down a little further, what's really shocking is that it's just a little bit more than half of that population that are working, 56%. We really need to get those numbers up. And you can see that it has been a national trend that these numbers have taken a dive, but that Kentucky really is quite below the national average. This next chart, we always kind of like to judge ourselves with our surrounding states and with our neighbors. And this one is kind of particularly shocking that we have about 56.3% workforce participation rate. The only state you can see from surrounding states that we are really not competing, and that the only state that we are higher than is West Virginia. And even more shocking, we are 48th in workforce participation out of 50 states. Surely we can do better. The only two states that rank below us and we're in terms of workforce participation, which means those able-bodied people that could be working and that could be in the workforce, are Mississippi and West Virginia. And so when companies like Ford come to Kentucky, we always have to keep our finger on the pulse of these workforce participation rates to make sure that we will have the talent that they need when they come to locate here. The good thing is that we do know kind of what to do. We know how to upskill and train employees and get them off the sidelines, get them back into the workforce. And this is something that obviously with COVID, like many things in our communities and with our state, we had inequities before COVID. We had never done particularly well in terms of workforce participation, but we had gotten better. We were around 40th in the nation when COVID hit. And of course, that kind of threw everything upside down. But we really need to make some pretty strong strides to get back to where we were. And so that's what we'll be looking at, going forward as we work to attract businesses and get our economy back up and running. One thing I mentioned earlier that businesses look at when attracting businesses here, or looking to locate, I should say, is educational attainment. We want to make sure that our workforce is skilled and educated, has a degree, a credential, or certificate, something that makes them marketable. And for many years, I think there was kind of the thought process of, well, college isn't for everyone. And that's not necessarily true. College is for a lot of people, and we really want to look at that baccalaureate attainment. How many people have college degrees? But we should have phrased it probably a little differently. We should have said some sort of post-secondary education is for everybody. We need degrees, we need credentials, we need certificates, we need trained employees that really do have a skill set that employers want, and that really is more for a career than just kind of the job of the day. And so you can see from this chart that we are well below the national average of the percent of 25 to 64-year-olds with some sort of post-secondary degree or credential. We are a little less than 50%, 49.4%, and the national average is almost 52%. We can look at neighbors to our south like Tennessee that have invested in education over the last decade, and they have grown that educational attainment. And we really need to be kind of all hands on deck, the business community, working with the education community, working with our lawmakers to make sure that we're investing in education, investing in training, investing in credentials and certificates, and making this a priority. Because when our businesses look to coming to a state, this is one of the big things they really do look at. Here's a chart that kind of shows how we stack up against other states, and we've circled Kentucky a little bit less than 50%. You can see that some states are less than us, but we're not quite the middle of the pack, and we really can do better in terms of being able to compete. One thing I've been noticing and highlighting the last couple of days when talking about the Ford location is infrastructure. And I always say for businesses and for the Chamber of Commerce, infrastructure is apple pie. It's the one thing that we know really does attract businesses. And the saying is true, if you build it, they will come. And it is not a coincidence that three major auto manufacturers, GM and 2 Ford plants, are located on the I-65 corridor. It's not a coincidence that UPS is located on the I-65 corridor. It's not a coincidence that Toyota and the Amazon plant up in northern Kentucky are located on the 75 corridor. Businesses of that scale and that size, when looking to locate, really want to make sure that the state is investing in their infrastructure and they have sound infrastructure. Kentucky has a prime location. We are within 1 day's drive of 2/3 of the national population, but we need to make sure that we're investing in our infrastructure. And right now, our infrastructure has a grade. We can kind of let engineers look at it and kind of look at the scale and the size and how we keep everything up of a C and a C minus. And we can do better. When we always look at the map of Kentucky and surrounding states around it, of what states have invested in their infrastructure, right now, Kentucky is an island. Every single state around us has increased their gas tax the last couple of years to be able to invest in their infrastructure and attract business. It is far past time for Kentucky to be able to do that, and we hope to do that in the future General Assemblies. So infrastructure, as you all know, being right on 65 is very critical when it comes to economic development and talent attraction and job growth. We also look at regulatory and legal environment. How is the legal climate in a state? Is it going to be business friendly? Is it going to be a place where there's always potentials of frivolous lawsuits? Businesses really do weigh this. And Kentucky right now is kind of in the bottom ranking. We're number 40 out of 50 states in terms of business friendliness when it comes to our regulatory and legal environment, and we can do a lot better. We have been a big proponent of legal liability reform. Some people call that tort reform for many years, but we do know that businesses look at how friendly the legal climate will be before locating to a state. So there's definitely work to be done. We also look at health, and this is one thing that I think all of us as Kentuckians have really taken an interest in, obviously, the last decade or so, is improving the health of our citizens. And I know I don't have to tell you all how important health is to good business outcomes. And right now, we are the 46th worst in the nation when it comes to overall health outcomes. How healthy are our citizens? We know as a kind of historical tobacco state that we have a very, very high rate of smoking. We're second highest in the entire nation. We also have struggled for many years with substance use disorder and overdose deaths. And again, during COVID, that has just heightened. And so we're the 7th worst for overdose deaths. And then mortality rate. How long do our people live? How healthy we are? That right now, Kentucky is the 3rd highest in mortality rates. And so when businesses come to look at a state, they want to look at the health of the workforce to make sure it's going to be a good place to invest. So I've given you kind of all of the lay of the land in Kentucky and what businesses look at about how to be more competitive and what businesses look at when coming to a state. The good news is that Kentucky is primed for growth, and we just need to advance on what we've been doing. And we want to make sure that we're really moving in the right direction so that more Kentucky businesses like Ford know that they can continue their investment here and that we can continue to attract new businesses. And so we are set for growth. We are primed for growth, and there's no better time than coming out of a pandemic to be able to put on a national stage saying we are ready and we are open for business. And so we do have a plan. Businesses, we know what to do to really make sure that we can compete. And one of the nice things about census data is that we have 10 years worth of data now of what states grew and what states didn't. And we can look at what they did. And it really starts with having a good business-friendly tax system. And so that's something that the Kentucky Chamber is going to be spearheading in the next few General Assemblies in Frankfort, is really making sure that Kentucky has a very pro-business, pro-growth, consumption-based tax system, looking similar to Tennessee. We may not get there overnight. It may take several years to get there, but we want to be one of those states like Tennessee, North Carolina, Florida, Texas, that can truly compete on that national stage for business. And most of it starts with a business-friendly tax environment. We also know that we have to upskill our workforce, that we have to make education a true priority. And we'll be working very closely with the General Assembly and with the education community to make sure that we can do that we can make sure that more of our people here in Kentucky have some sort of degree or credential post-high school, that we are upskilling our workforce and making sure that they can meet the needs of the businesses that are already here and the businesses that want to locate in Kentucky. We also, like I said earlier, have to invest in infrastructure. And this is not only a hot topic here in Kentucky, it's a hot topic on the national stage. There is a bipartisan infrastructure bill that is going through the system right now that we strongly support. But we know that infrastructure, as shown with the Ford announcement being right on 65, is key for economic growth. And we have to continue to invest here in Kentucky. Liability reform, we know that we want businesses to locate to Kentucky and not be scared they're going to be hit with frivolous lawsuits, to make sure that they have laws in place to prevent all of that. And so that's something we'll be looking at as well, is furthering our legal liability climate and pushing tort reform here in Kentucky. And then lastly, health. We know that we are unhealthy here in Kentucky and we can do better. And it's really going to take an all hands on deck approach. The Hardin County Chamber, for many years, I want to applaud you all and commend you all for really being leaders in this. Many years ago, 9-10 years ago, when we started talking about smoke-free workplaces, you all were one of the very first chambers to sign on and say, yes, this is good for business, this is good for health, and we want to make sure that our businesses and our public spaces are smoke-free. You all have been leading on that charge charge, and there are many things that we could do to make sure that we have a healthier workforce, a healthier population that's going to move Kentucky forward. So I laid out a lot of issues going on here in Kentucky that we will keep you guys apprised of as we move through this next General Assembly and as we continue our work here at the Kentucky Chamber. But I want to say thank you all to everyone in Hardin County. I cannot wait to come back and visit my hometown. Congratulations on the success you've had. I hope you guys take a moment and celebrate everything going on with Ford right now. It is really tremendous news. And we just want to make sure that we're strong partners, and whatever we can do to help continue to grow Hardin County, Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, and all the surrounding cities, we want to make sure to do. So thank you all. Hopefully we can visit again in person, but please don't ever hesitate to reach out to the Kentucky Chamber. We want to be a resource for you. We want to be a network for you. And really, through our strong partnership, we're going to be able to move Kentucky forward. So thank you all. I look forward to seeing you hopefully next time in person.
Ashley, thank you so much. As always, you enlightened and engaged us. We are very appreciative of everything you and the Kentucky Chamber do for our chamber and our state. We hope to see you in person very soon. And speaking of perks and opportunities for the chamber membership, I would like to share with you about ClearPath, a program designed to help you and your business. ClearPath Mutual has partnered with the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce to offer all of its members and participating affiliate chambers a premium reduction on their policies for workers' compensation. Here are the qualifications that must be met to receive benefits from the program. The business must be a member in good standing with the Hardin County Chamber of Commerce on the effective date of the policy or within 30 days. Annual premium must be at least $600 before the discount is applied. A minimum of 2 years in business and the experience mod of 1.30 or less. Cooperation with loss prevention services as well is a requirement, and existing underwriting guidelines prevail. Your agent or broker is the person that you start the conversation with, and you may contact me with any questions and look to the Chamber's website for additional information. We hope you take advantage of this program, and it's a great opportunity for you to potentially save money on your workers' comp program. Now I'd like to introduce you to our Ambassador of the Month. Congratulations to the Ambassador of the Month, Amanda Satterfield. Amanda is a proud graduate of North Hardin High School. She began her career with Shoney's in 1998, and she is currently the general manager of the Elizabethtown store, where she also operates the catering and marketing for that store. Amanda joined the American Legion staff in 2000 as a bartender and still enjoys working there, as she says it's a great way to meet veterans and a good organization to be involved in. Amanda is also a small business owner in Radcliffe and a proud Navy mom to her son, Dylan. Amanda was raised in a military family and takes pride in our community. Amanda has been an active and very dedicated chamber ambassador over the years, serving as the Radcliffe Chamber Ambassador President in 2009. She was also a Hardin County Chamber Ambassador of the Year in 2017, and she's been named Ambassador of the Month numerous times. In addition to volunteering with the Chamber, she serves on the advisory board of Big Brothers, Big Sisters. She is a member of the American Legion Auxiliary, and she has served as treasurer for the North Hardin High School JROTC Cadet Parent Association. Amanda and her husband enjoy being involved in community events, and despite her annual escapes to the Bahamas, Amanda says Hardin County is home and a great place to live, work, and raise a family. The Chamber thanks Amanda and her employer, Shoney's, for her dedication, hard work, and commitment to service. Congratulations! As Ambassador of the Month, Amanda receives a $50 gift certificate, other goodies from the Chamber, and she will ride to our next in-person luncheon in a limo courtesy of Skaggs Limousine. One of the great things the ambassadors do is help recruit new members to the Chamber of Commerce. We have several new members to introduce to you this month, so I'll turn it over to Kendra Scott to introduce them to you.
Hello, Chamber members, and thank you for tuning in today. We're glad you could join us, and I'm happy to introduce you to our newest members. Please visit and support them and make them feel welcome. First up, A1 Commercial and Residential Cleaning and more. A1 Commercial and Residential Cleaning is located in Elizabethtown, and they provide light and deep cleaning services for businesses and residences. Owner-operator Lenita Gibbs is ready to help you clean up, and no job is too big or too small. Welcome A1 Commercial and Residential Cleaning and more. And A1 Commercial and Residential Cleaning is a division of Gibbs Enterprises, LLC, also a new member. Gibbs Enterprises is owned and operated by veteran Kenneth Gibbs and his wife, Lenita. Welcome. Our next new member is HMC Service Company. An industry leader since 1966, HMC's business has been built upon a solid foundation of satisfied customers and dedicated employees. Specializing in commercial applications and industrial maintenance to include HVAC, plumbing, building automation, preventative maintenance, and refrigeration, HMC has steadily grown in size and capabilities. HMC remains committed to establishing long-term relationships with customers by fostering a no bad job culture, willing to sacrifice profit for customer satisfaction. Located at 6909 Enterprise Drive in Louisville, HMC is working to make its presence known in our area. Please welcome Brian Fichter and HMC Service. Now, you may have read about this new company coming to our community, Kruger Packaging, Inc. A North American leader in eco-friendly packaging, Kruger Packaging delivers better boxes and smarter solutions for today's fast-changing marketplace. Thanks to their integrated supply of exclusive recycled linerboard, they provide top-quality, sustainable packaging backed by exceptional customer service, personalized technical support, and reliable on-time delivery. Located at 1000 North Black Branch Road in Elizabethtown, we extend a warm welcome to John Keith, General Manager, and Jean Majot, Senior Vice President, and the rest of the Kruger team. Please welcome UniFirst to the Chamber membership. We held a ribbon cutting for this new member yesterday, and we appreciate everyone who attended. Since 1936, UniFirst has earned a national reputation for personalized, quality services based on the customer-focused business philosophies followed by their entire employee team partners. In the Kentuckiana area, their local service and operations teams work in unison to manage your uniform rental and facility service programs at the highest level of service and responsiveness. The main office is located at 2900 Blanken Baker Parkway in Louisville, but you'll be seeing local representative Jansen Webb all across our community. We welcome Jansen and Austin Yates to the Hardin County Chamber of Commerce. Our next new member is Unity Insurance. Unity Insurance Agency is a locally owned, independent insurance agency that represents over a dozen nationally known insurance companies. Owned and operated by agent Ryan Perkins, Unity provides home insurance, auto insurance, and all lines of business insurance, with a focus on cyber liability. Unity shops their numerous carriers and finds what works best for you and your budget, with quick response times, giving you the quality service you deserve. Unity Insurance is located at 1507 North Dixie Avenue, Suite 116 in E-Town in the brand new Lincoln Center. Welcome Ryan Perkins and Unity Insurance. And last, but certainly not least, today is a tasty new member, World Famous Pizza. World Famous Pizza is a privately owned pizza establishment offering a product menu that does not currently exist in the area, with fresh, hot pizza, New York style, on the go or delivered to your home. They also offer a wide variety of custom lemonades. Their customers are you, the families, neighbors, and students around the area. World Famous Pizza will also be hosting parties with bounce houses so kids can come and unleash the fun. Please stop by and meet Lorenzo and Lizette Shannon, the owners, and join us for their ribbon cutting celebration, which will be Friday, October 29th at 12 p.m. They're located in Radcliffe at 205 East Lincoln Trail Boulevard. We thank all of our new members for investing in the Chamber of Commerce and the community, and we look forward to working with all of you and seeing each of them prosper. Now, moving on to some other important Chamber business, it's my pleasure to introduce you to the 2022 Hardin County Leadership Class. This is a dynamic and diverse group of talented folks who are excited to get started in the program. Thanks to the businesses and sponsors of this year's class. We couldn't do it without you.
In October, the Elizabethtown Hardin County Industrial Foundation celebrates Manufacturing Month by highlighting recent announcements, expansions, and innovative product development among local manufacturers. Hardin County is home to approximately 80 manufacturers and supporting industries, with more than 9,500 people working in the manufacturing sector. Hardin County is also the birthplace of many globally recognized and innovative products made by our local manufacturers, such as aerial devices for service trucks, automotive interior kinetic and decorative systems, silicone sealants and adhesives, automotive safety glass, truck and SUV frames, and much more. Our impressive growth is demonstrated by several area manufacturers who completed major expansions, added square footage, and employees in their growing operations recently. Kruger Packaging announced their decision to begin construction on a $114 million state-of-the-art manufacturing facility in Hardin County. WL Plastics also announced plans to construct a 60,000 square foot facility forecast to begin in 2022. Fischbach began construction of a 65,000 square foot addition, and Sudol recently completed an 11,000 square foot corporate office. The most recent Ford Motor Company and SK Innovations joint venture announcement with plans to develop 2 electric battery plants in what will be known as the Blue Oval SK Battery Park located in the Glendale megasite. The anticipated $5.8 billion investment will create 5,000 new jobs and is the single largest economic spend in the history of the state of Kentucky. This announcement is transformative for our community and represents the level of dedication to the industrial economy that our local government and citizens have had for decades. It is accomplishments like these that put the Elizabethtown Hardin County Industrial Foundation in a position to pursue new opportunities as we move into the future of manufacturing. As a top driver of Hardin County's economy, representing over $412 million in annual earned wages, we salute and celebrate manufacturing while encouraging all citizens to embrace the rich manufacturing history of our community during the month of October. Thank you.
As you may know, Elizabethtown Community and Technical College offers a wide variety of programs, degrees, and certifications in dozens of fields. They also provide workforce training and development. In recognition of Manufacturing Month, ECTC has provided a short video to share, and we hope you enjoy it.
Hey, it is Greg Milby representing our friends with the Hardin County Chamber of Commerce as we are in Manufacturing Month, and we are here at beautiful Elizabethtown Community and Technical College. And ECTC has this Ride the Lightning Learning Lab and the Workforce Solutions Mobile Training Units here. And the guru, the man that knows everything about it right here is Mike Hazard, ECTC's Dean of Workforce Solutions and Technical Programming. Mike, first of all, thanks for letting us come and check out your equipment here.
No problem, Greg, anytime. I think I would love to be part of the community. So,
you know, we hope to be able to share this with you in person soon, but we're going to give you kind of a step-through tour so you can kind of see everything that's going on here with these 2 units. But first of all, how is this beautiful learning lab used?
Well, the Ride the Lightning Learning Lab is all about taking the technical training to and being more accessible to the customer. So what we do, we can set up simulators inside. We can also set up other equipment on board and then take it for skills training and testing. Today we've got it set up as a mobile electrical technology lab. So
okay. So how did this all come about? I mean, did they just magically drop this in your lap?
Oh, no.
How did this trailer come about?
Well, the lab itself was made possible by a grant from the All Within My Hands Foundation, which is part of has the Metallica Scholars Initiative. It's named after the band Metallica. Everybody knows Metallica, and we are one of only 23 colleges in the nation, and the only one in Kentucky that's a part of this initiative. You know, Ride the Lightning was named after a popular album by Metallica. The band knows the importance of career and technical education, and what they do is and that's why their foundation, All With My Hands, not only made the Learning Lab a reality, but also we were able to provide over 100 scholarships to our students through their initiative. This year, we're expanding the program. It's been advanced manufacturing. This year, we're moving into CDL also, in addition to the advanced manufacturing. So it's pretty cool.
Right, so you mentioned that, but there are other things that ECTC can do to take training programs to employers, right?
Yes, sir. We're very proud of our Workforce Solutions Mobile Training Unit, and with a partnership with the Industrial Foundation here in Elizabethtown, Workforce Development Board, and Lincoln Trail Career Center, what we did is we got this bus, and it's outfitted for 16 students, 16 workstations. It's great for employers to take that workforce training and make it more convenient and more affordable.
Awesome. You know, I love to camp, and it's kind of, when you've got all the comforts of home when you're camping, it's great to see that you have all the comforts of school when you've got this mobile training unit here.
Yes, sir. And it's a fun thing to drive too. I've had to drive it myself.
All right, they don't just stay in storage; they move around. How do people get more information about both of these training units?
Well, look at our website up, elizabethtown.kctcs.edu, Workforce Solutions, or call us at area code 270-706-8700.
All right, good deal. He's Mike Hazard with ECTC. I'm Greg Milby with the Hardin County Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, ECTC, for the video and for all the opportunities you provide. Today's primary sponsor is WesBanco. They are a member of our President's Circle and extremely engaged in our chamber, community, and region. Marilyn Ford, WesBanco City President, Heartland Region, has a few comments to share.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Marilyn Ford, City President of the Heartland region of WesBanco. I truly wish that we could be together today and I could see you and interact with you in person. But friends, I think we all know that we are still in a very different time and that we've learned that perhaps we're even more flexible and more adaptive than we have ever thought possible. It is a pleasure to be the sponsor for today's chamber meeting, especially since our guest speaker is the President and CEO of the Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, Ashley Watts. Ashley, too, is a native of Hardin County, and it was truly my pleasure to serve on the Kentucky Chamber Board and get to know Ashley. We are very blessed to have the Kentucky Chamber working with our local chamber team, representing our business interests across the state. Now, please permit me to share a little bit about WesBanco. WesBanco was founded in 1870 in Wheeling, West Virginia as a very small rural bank. This year is our 151st anniversary. We're now a larger community bank located in 6 states with over 200 locations. We continue to receive accolades that reflect the efforts and values of our company. To name a few, for 2021, we were named as one of the world's best banks for the 3rd consecutive year based on customer satisfaction and feedback. We received the designation of Savings Excellence from America Saves. We were named one of the best banks in America for 2021 by Forbes magazine. We were also given the highest rating of a 5-star bank by Bauer Financial. We were named to Newsweek magazine's inaugural ranking of one of America's best banks, recognizing those banks that best serve their customer needs. And the FDIC awarded WesBanco a composite outstanding rating for community reinvestment, and that is our 7th consecutive outstanding rating. Our bank has seen and experienced a lot of major events and changes in our long tenure, both good and bad. In our history, we've seen our country recovering from the Civil War, the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918, the Great Depression, many wars and conflicts, but we've also seen the miracles, such as cures for many diseases, the first man into space, the first moonwalk, the amazing inventions, technology advancements, and so much more. Change is inevitable, but something in our bank's history that is very important and has not changed is our commitment to our customers and to our communities. We stay committed through both our service and our financial giving. Many in our bank serve on boards, they volunteer for nonprofits, and partner with other community partners for positive impact. A very current example of that is our COVID-19 assistance efforts. We recognized major economic impact to individuals, businesses, and communities, and we offered payment deferral and modification options for both personal and business loans. We participated in the SBA Payroll Protection Loan Program and processed thousands of applications and funded millions of dollars in PPP loans to assist small businesses. We made more than $500,000 available for nonprofits that were seeing much greater demand for services and shrinking funding. Many nonprofits in our region were recipients of these funds. This is in addition to our regular financial support of these worthy causes. In addition to support of customers and community, we of course have the traditional banking products and services in all sizes, as we recognize that one size does not fit all. We also have specialized services such as private client banking, trust and wealth management, brokerage services, insurance, and specialized business services. We have tremendous commercial loan opportunities that many community banks may be unable to offer, such as swap loans. We are also very competitive with rate and terms. We currently have two very appealing commercial loan specials for qualifying businesses with fixed rates and terms, one for equipment and one for commercial real estate. Rates as low as 2.95% and 3.39% respectively, and fixed rate terms up to 7 years and 10 years respectively. These commercial loan specials are for qualifying businesses that meet the criteria for the program and of course are subject to a credit approval. This focused commercial offering is valid through December 31st, 2021. Please contact us for more specific details. We would love to talk with you. We truly are a unique bank. We are a larger community bank with the ability to offer services and products that are typically only found in much larger banks. I'm very proud to be part of the WesBanco family, and I'm honored to represent a bank that values people, employees, customers, and communities. I'm blessed to be surrounded by a Heartland team. They are an amazing group of people. They have worked diligently during this very challenging time of being in a pandemic, and they continue to provide the many financial services that our customers need while remaining compassionate and caring. I want to thank the Chamber again for the opportunity for WesBanco to sponsor today's luncheon. And as I prepare to close, please permit me to leave you with this. It's found in Micah chapter 6, verse 8. And simply stated, it says, act justly, love mercy, walk humbly. May God bless you, our community, and our nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn and WesBanco, for your continued strong support. WesBanco also has a door prize to give away. So following today's meeting, they will randomly select a winner from everyone who commented, liked, and shared this feed. Thanks again, WesBanco. I'd like to wrap up with a few brief announcements. The Fall Chamber Golf Scramble is Friday, October 22nd at Elizabethtown Country Club, starting at 9 a.m. Thanks to our hole-in-one sponsored Altec, Hardin County State Farm agents, and the Swope family dealerships. If you'd like to sponsor a hole, volunteer, donate a door prize, or raffle item, please contact Kendra at 270-765-4334 or Kendra at hardinchamber.com. Team slots are almost completely full, so if you'd like to play, please contact Kendra immediately. Thanks to everyone who has already signed up and donated. Proceeds from the scramble go to support work ethic scholarships for our high school students. The next Building Brilliance Zoom workshop will be held October 27th and will feature downtown Elizabethtown entrepreneurs. The time is 12 p.m. on October 27th. and more details will be on the Chamber website and Facebook page soon. We'd also like to invite you to join us for a ribbon cutting for World Famous Pizza on Friday, October 29th at noon. World Famous Pizza is located at 205 East Lincoln Trail Boulevard in Radcliffe. Safety guidelines will be in place. Lastly, save the date for the November membership meeting, which will be Wednesday, November 10th at 12 p.m. We will keep a constant watch on the community health conditions and make a decision whether to meet in person or virtually. Thanks for your patience and understanding. Thanks again to ECTC and West Banco for their contributions today. Thanks to Ashley Watts for sharing with us, and thanks to all of you for watching and participating. Stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you soon.